Now that we know what is in the facilitator kit, we're ready to set up the game. How we get started is each team gets a game board. So they also gets $200, and that is their loan from the bank. So they'll get their $200, their game board, their roll sheet, and we'll talk about how we introduce all of this after we talk about how we're just going to set it up. So this is the roll sheet and a financial record sheet. So that is what each team gets. They can also use one pen of their own, one writing utensil, no other things. So each team gets one of those. Then we also have to set up the office supply store. So this is where they would buy office supplies, and their office supplies are on here and how much they are, so they can budget for that. They have paper clips, scissors, pens, so they can buy more pens if they want. They only get to use one of their own when they start. Rulers, and all these different colored markers. So that's what's in the office supply store, and they can buy those. The paper clips come in sets of 2 instead of just one by itself. The other thing that each team would get is one of these little markers so that they can just kind of keep track of where they are on the game board. The facilitator also gets a game board so they can guide the teams where they are in each of the levels of the game. Then the money also goes to the office supply store person. It goes to the banker. Sometimes the banker and the office supply store and the wholesaler will all be the same person. It depends on how many adults you have or how many older students you have to help. You can do it with one person, and then that person is the customer. They are the office supply store person, the banker, and the raw materials. It works best if you actually have at least two adults, because then you can have one person be the customer and sort of the facilitator of the game to kind of guide them through and make sure it's on time and all of that. And then the other person could be the office supply store, the banker, and the wholesaler person who sells the raw materials. The other thing you need to do to set up the game is create a runway. So that is what the duct tape is for. And the way that I do that is I just pull out about 15 feet. I don't usually measure it, but you can measure it. 15 feet of duct tape, and put it in on the floor somewhere or in the hallway or whatever works best. And then a big X at the end. And usually it's about 2 feet by 2 feet sections is what I use for the X. And that is how you do your runway. And that should be somewhere a little bit away from all of the kids working so that they have room so when they're flying their paper airplanes, they aren't running in or hitting people. Or once you have all that done, you're set up and you're ready to go.